This is Luis Fortuño. How are you? Doing very well, thank you. Congratulations. You have the whole delegation with you. We're taking them all to Tampa. Yes.
Uh, First of all, I want to thank all the candidates. They gave it their best. I must say that I've gotten to know in the last few years the four top candidates. They're fine men. They're good Americans that have contributed to our country in different ways, and I want to thank them for their service. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the volunteers, the poll watchers, that made it possible to have what I believe is a momentous occasion for us here. Why do I say that? The last time we had a contested race, a contested Republican primary in Puerto Rico was 2000. And we had less than 100,000 voters going to the polls. Today, we have surpassed that mark significantly. And that sends a strong message that indeed Republican and conservative values resonate well amongst our voters. Thirdly, I'd like to thank, in a very special way, two unique human beings that I have gotten to know throughout the last year or so much better. This couple actually visited us in the last few days, and actually specifically one, Mrs. Mitt Romney, stole the hearts of all Puerto Ricans. I want to thank her for being so gracious during her visit, and I want to thank Governor Romney for not just showing respect and true interest on our issues, but making sure that our issues become the issues of all Americans. We're proud to be Americans. We have been part of the United States since 1898. We have been natural-born American citizens since 1917 and fought in every single war since then with valor and courage in greater numbers than most states. Over 200,000 of our men and women have served our nation in defense of democracy. I'll tell you even more. In this global war on terror, Puerto Rico has contributed more men and women in uniform than every single state but one, and we're proud of their service. Yet, on November 6th, those men and women will not be able to vote for the commander-in-chief, and that has to be changed. And Governor Romney delivered a very powerful message here in Puerto Rico that resonates across the country. Number one, that we need jobs. We need to create more jobs. He's got the experience. He understands how jobs are created. And he pledged to implement policies that actually are already starting to work in Puerto Rico. Right-sizing government, significantly reducing taxes, eliminating unnecessary red tape, and allowing the American entrepreneurial spirit that it is so prevalent in the Hispanic community, including Puerto Rico, to be freed up. And he espoused those values during his campaign. He is doing the same thing across the country, but certainly they resonated loud and clear in Puerto Rico. Secondly, he committed to protect America's Caribbean border. When we talk about protecting the border, a lot of people think only of America's border in the southwest with Mexico. That is as if you were locking your front door and leaving the back door open. That simply makes no sense, and that's exactly what the country has been doing for way too long. The result has been a dramatic increase of drug smuggling through the region, including Puerto Rico and the United States Virgin Islands. And that is affecting not just our quality of life, but it affects every single community from Miami all the way up to Boston. And he understood that. And he committed to protect America's Caribbean border. Thirdly, he committed to respect the will of the people, the will of the voters. When November 6th, we'll be voting on whether we want to remain a territory, we want to become a state of the union, or we want to be independent. And he committed to work with us to implement the results of that vote. I commend him for that, for his courage, and for understanding that the Hispanic community cares about jobs, cares about faith, cares about family, and requires and demands the respect that he actually delivered during his visit. Now is the time to unite behind the person that I am convinced should be our nominee. And we have invited representatives from the other campaigns to join us here, and I thank each one of them for a fine job and for joining us tonight to deliver a unified message, not just to Puerto Rico, but to the country, that it is time to unite behind Governor Romney and his campaign to take us to the White House on November 6th.